Hi, I'm Charles Purcell. This is The Log for Monday, August 3. Oy, the new month is here. Rent is due. Eviction bans have lapsed. Boy, oh boy. From the frying pan into the fire, as my mother used to say. Yep, we're going from bad to worse to worse. Oh, but here we are together, and we have our health, you and I, right? Do we? I know I do. I'm grateful for that. Oh, before I forget, here's something we haven't talked about from last week. Oh, man, come on. Oh, God. Herman Cain. Herman Cain dies of COVID-19. Of course, we saw republished all of his goofy tweets about not wearing masks and giving the thumbs up with zero social distancing at the Tulsa Trump rally. And then he dies. Lord Jesus. And then Louis Gohmert, one of the craziest guys in Congress, tests positive only because he was planning on taking a little trip. He was going to fly with the Orange Menace down to, forget Texas, where they were going. And before you get on a plane with the Orange Menace, of course, you have to be tested. And he tested positive. If not for that planned trip, he'd still be running around not knowing that he was positive. And he called his entire staff together, brought them into a room to announce that he was positive. What an idiot. What a criminally idiotic buffoon this guy is. And then the floodgates just opened up because one staffer came out and said Louis Gohmert insisted that the full staff, including interns, be in the office to demonstrate this great value of reopening America. That people who wore masks were mocked and admonished. So I'm not really interested much in Herman Cain or Louis Gohmert. What I'm really interested in is how many people they infected while they were running around not wearing masks. This is unbelievable, you guys. Yeah, how many people did they infect? A headline from Tulsa, just shortly after the rally there, Trump rally likely contributed to surge in COVID-19 cases, Tulsa health official says. The president's campaign rally in late June likely contributed to the area's recent spike in coronavirus cases, Tulsa City County Health Department Director Dr. Bruce Dart said Wednesday. This is from a story dated July 9. And that was right about the time that Herman Cain, was diagnosed. In the past few days, we've seen almost 500 new cases, and we had several large events just over 2 weeks ago. So I guess we just connect the dots, Dart said at a press conference. So, yeah, how many people have Louis Gohmert and Herman Cain infected? And now multiply that by 1,000, by 1,000,000, all of the dopey anti-maskers out there. How many have they infected? Unless you're a democidal maniac, maybe you want to do something about that? Oh, what else? Let's see here. What's going on? Oh, the tweet of the day. Your tweet of the day. Ellison Samat. I just keep seeing people on social, eating at restaurants, traveling, doing whatever, and I'm sitting in my apartment like I've hallucinated a pandemic. Yeah. Do you share that feeling sometimes? I certainly share this experience. Friends, family, it seems like everybody. Oh, they're just out and about, traveling, doing things. Yeah, I don't get it. Did I dream all this? So I was happy to see that because I don't know if you share this experience, but I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm alone. So thank you. And then actually she wrote that little post in response to this, our bonus tweet of the day, which really started the whole damn thing. This is from someone called Lego Shoes, and I think they put this pretty well. Aspects of our COVID exhaustion are due to the reality that many of us are carrying the weight of others' irresponsibility. Many go about their lives unencumbered with any feeling of social responsibility, then feel justified in their carelessness, at least partially protected by the Herculean efforts of others. Not only are we carefully navigating a context foreign to us, sacrificially bearing a collective burden, we have to watch those efforts devalued by those who then pretend their carelessness is justified. We're holding a societal umbrella in a downpour. They're laughing and pretending it's not raining because they're not wet. It's exhausting. Yeah, there's your tweet of the day from someone called Lego Shoes. Yeah, it is exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. And Mr. Sunshine here, Mr. Optimism, having a very hard time. There's just way, way too much stupid in the world. And the stupid have a tremendous amount of power right now. In fact, here, that reminds me of another tweet of the day. I'll give you a whole list of tweets today. And again, it's kind of obvious, I guess, but Calvin Livingston writes, the ones refusing to wear masks will be the reason why we end up closing down again. And they will be the ones bitching the most about the reclosing that they are responsible for. I know this is kind of Captain Obvious stuff, but it needs to be said out loud. The reason we're in the shape we're in right now is because of the COVIDiots, which is a term I don't really use too often, but I think it's appropriate here. They are the reason we're not further along on this thing. They're the reason, and they're doing the most bitching. And now, because of their irresponsibility, their carelessness, as Lego Shoes put it, we may be forced to go into varying degrees of lockdown. It's this vicious cycle. They cause the problem, they complain about the problem, they continue to make the problem worse. It's exhausting. And I don't see any end in sight. Well, okay. Maybe. I don't know. Well, it's 92 days to Election Day. 92 days to Election Day, 92 days till we vote. And now is the time to make preparations. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you understand the rules in your state regarding early voting, mail-in voting. Make sure you understand the rules. You got everything, you got all your ducks in a row. If there are oppressive laws in your state, like in many, regarding ID laws, voter ID laws, things like that, get everything together. 92 days, man, right around the corner. And even closer, around a closer corner here, is the Republican National Convention. August 24th, that begins. And it was reported, this was an interesting story. This is a developing story. It may have developed even further now since I'm uttering these words. There's a little lag between when I utter them and when you hear them, so there may be developments. But it was announced, or it was reported anyway, that the vote to renominate the Orange Menace is set to be conducted in private, without members of the press present. A spokeswoman for the Republican National Convention said on Saturday, citing the coronavirus. Reading now from the AP. But the thing is, this was reported by the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And when the Republican Party was asked about it, they kind of backtracked a little bit. Oh, no, we're still thinking about this. So basically, this was something told to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. So you can think one of two things, or one of three things. The Arkansas Democrat Gazette is mistaken. They made a mistake in their reporting. Not likely. They're lying. Less likely. Or the RNC is fudging and lying a little bit. Oh, no, we didn't say that. Yeah, which of those possibilities is more likely? What do you think? Who's lying or mistaken here? Now, I told you about the meeting I was in as a credentialed member of the press. I'm going to brag about this till the day I die. I got one of only 70 radio television credentials for the DNC, down from 7,000 credentials usually awarded. I'm going to brag about that forever. So anyway, as a member of that august gathering, I was invited onto a press conference call with the Democratic National Committee, and we were told that this was an off-the-record meeting. It was mostly for information for the press as we approach the date here. It was information about how it's going to work and what to do and how to do it, especially with the whole COVID-19 thing happening and all the protocols. Anyway, here's my guess. This is my speculation now. I'm guessing that the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette was on one of those kind of off-the-record meetings, and they spilled it. They spilled something they thought was pretty big news, which I may have done too. If I heard something like this in my off-the-record meeting, yeah, I may have spilled it. I may have leaked it. They're going to ban the press from the entire thing? The actual act of nominating their candidate? Yeah, that's some authoritarian fascist right there. Ban the press? You kidding me? So, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette spilled it. RNC is backing off. Oh, no, we haven't quite decided everything now. It's all in play. So by the time you hear this, they may have already rescinded that. But that was the big headline, that the press was banned. And yes, it's mostly happening online, but there are people, there are actual human beings in rooms conducting the business of nominating the President of the United States for re-election. You don't think the press has a role in that at all? Anywhere? They should be just entirely omitted from the process? Banned from the proceedings? Wow. Wow. So thank you, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Nice going. Thank you for spilling that little bit of news. Oh, it's a Monday. Monday. We got so much happening. Let's see. What else happened? Over the weekend, I finally got around to seeing the PBS Frontline documentary, COVID's Hidden Toll. Finally got around to seeing that. I recommended it a couple of weeks ago. And then my local station didn't play it. So I had to go and search it online and find it and watch it. Wow, what a powerful, again, Frontline documentary. I can't recommend them highly enough. Frontline examines how the COVID crisis has hit vulnerable immigrants and undocumented workers. The documentary follows the coronavirus pandemic's invisible victims, including crucial farm and meatpacking workers who lack protections and have been getting sick. Yeah, it premiered on July 21st. I finally got around to seeing it. Really great and powerful and sad and will make you angry. So if you haven't seen that one, go back. It's still available on the website, PBS Frontline. COVID's Hidden Toll. Yeah, so I finally saw that. And zooming out to the much larger picture here, we're doing everything wrong. We basically do everything wrong. Our food sources, we have to have local food sources. We can't have small regions of the country providing food for the entire nation. We can't have it. We've always needed these changes, but the virus has blown off the veil, hiding these horrible, horrible problems and just revealing them as the disasters they are. And our food production system in this country is just not sustainable, and it's not healthy. All food should be local. Our day-to-day nutrition, the food we need, must be locally sourced. Just like everything needs to be locally sourced. Everything's got to be smaller. Everything's got to be local, or we're screwed. The virus has also showed us on the whole PPE thing, the protective equipment, right? We hear all about supply chains. All of these things are manufactured in China. And if the world worked the way it ought to, all necessary goods and services would be locally produced within the community. Local food sources, local supply chains. Yeah, we're doing pretty much everything wrong. We're doing it all wrong right now. The other thing that the Frontline documentary reminded me of is just how in awe I am of people. Oh my God, you guys, you're all so much better than I am. The work people do, so far beyond what I'm capable of. I don't think I could ever do the kind of work that some people do. These first responders, these health workers, nurses, people who work in food production. I mean, the real workers, the laborers. Shoot, even the journalists of PBS, tirelessly working these stories. There are so many great people. And this is why I remain optimistic against all evidence. Because I see such incredible people doing such good work every day in so many different fields. Science and research, medicine, the arts, innovative ideas. So many good people of all stripes and varieties. And those are the people who give me confidence that the world could work properly for all of us. And it's why I've made it my main mission in life to destroy capitalism, to destroy profit, to destroy the role of money in the world, because money, profit, capitalism, that's the knee on the neck of progress. 92 days to Election Day. 92 days. Hey, I had a thought. There's all this conversation about Joe Biden's running mate because he told us that it would be this week, a couple of weeks ago. And then he said, no, well, okay, we're going to take another week to think about this. So he's promising an announcement by next week, the week of August 10. And so, as you'd imagine, there's a ton of speculation. Oh, it's the favorite topic of conversation. Who will it be? Who will it be? Well, I'll tell you what. I saw on the Sunday shows yesterday, I saw Karen Bass, representative from California, and apparently, according to all the reports, she's now on the very short list, along with Susan Rice, former National Security Advisor, and Kamala Harris, now well known because of her presidential run, senator from California, and most infamously, former Attorney General of California. And that's her biggest downside right now, is this kind of law and order, tough on crime thing. At least that's her downside with the progressives. And that's the whole, it's maybe the upside for disaffected Trumpsters. If the Democrats are trying to lure some of them, I guess that aspect of Kamala Harris's background would be an upside. So, and this is nothing new, this happens every election, you have to make these kind of calculating decisions. Okay, I understand that, that's fine. What I can tell you, on the Sunday shows, I was not impressed with Karen Bass. I'll be honest, I haven't seen her interviewed because I read more than I watch. I'm always recommending this to you guys. I don't watch the cable shows. I don't have cable in my house. I think it makes us all crazy. So, as a result, I haven't seen her. I don't know how I've missed her along the way. I'm sure she must have done a news hour. I guess I missed that. Anyway, Karen Bass, at least my first impression, really unimpressive. Really unimpressive. You can tell a lot. You really can. You can. Trust your judgment, please. You can tell an awful lot from a television interview. Look at someone like Bernie, who speaks clearly, honestly, powerfully. passionately. He knows the issues inside and out. He actually answers questions. He speaks honestly, forcefully. It's just so clear. You can tell a lot. And Karen Bass plastered this ridiculous fake smile on her face, and she answered every question like a politician. She was so rehearsed and so disingenuous. Authenticity has to be an absolute, required, essential prerequisite for anybody at that high of office, for me. I'm not having Karen Bass. Didn't care for her at all. And I'm going to say the same thing. I'm sorry about Tammy Duckworth. She's kind of gained a reputation of being candid and being authentic. I'm going to tell you, yesterday on the Sunday shows, I didn't get that at all. I got a carefully scripted, rehearsed little presentation. And you got to know that Tammy Duckworth and Karen Bass have not only been vetted by the Democrats, they've been coached about exactly how to present themselves. And they've been thoroughly prepared about what they can and cannot say to the media. Yeah, I was thoroughly unimpressed with Tammy Duckworth and Karen Bass yesterday. And as a progressive, I've got my problems with Kamala Harris. Now, again, the Democrats, they've got lots of angles to figure here. They're not going to do anything just to please me. They've got lots of constituents they want to please. They've got lots of voters that they want to attract. So I'm not counting on anything from them. They'll make their calculations. They'll do what they think they need to do. And once we get the announcement, this is my personal plan. I'll have a word or two to say about it, but I'm not going to lose any sleep, and I'm not going to set fire to the Democratic Party. I understand. Now, having said all that, I do have a suggestion. Here's my suggestion. All right. Joe Biden is 1,000 years old. Here's what he ought to do. He should choose Elizabeth Warren, who is just under 1,000 years old. And along with his vice presidential announcement, he should announce this is for one term. He's already used the term transitional president, which I think is honest and good. He's our Gerald Ford. He's this generation's Gerald Ford. All right, everybody take a deep breath. The long national nightmare is over. Except no pardons this time, please, Joe Biden. No pardons. So really embrace that role of transitional president. Make everybody happy. This not only works for me, I think this works for a lot of people. One term only. Make it official. Announce it. Make Elizabeth Warren your running mate, because this woman can get done. You guys fight like hell for 4 years to get rid of this virus, because that's going to be on your plate there. The virus is going to be right there waiting for you. It's going to be raging. So get all your plans together and your experts and, do what you do. I think this would be a great team. Put your head down, work like hell for 4 years, get some serious police reform done, get some serious racial justice legislation passed, the Voting Rights Act reconstructed, get the kids out of those damn cages, make sure the dreamers are protected, reinstate all the damn regulations that the Orange Menace gutted, financial regulation, environmental, labor. We've been basically hit by a disaster. This is the day after the hurricane. This is the day after the tsunami. We have to repair the damage. We have to dig ourselves out of the worst political catastrophe this nation has seen since the Civil War. So Joe and Liz, you're hired. Go do it. Elizabeth Warren, you just go to town regulating the banks. I know she's not a socialist. I know she calls herself a capitalist. I know. That's why I only want her for 4 years. Because the die is cast, you guys. Ain't nobody else going to win the 2020 election. You're not going to get a libertarian. You're not going to get a socialist. You're not going to get a Green Party candidate. Get your head out of the clouds. That ain't going to happen. It's either going to be Joe Biden or the Orange Menace. And if it's Biden, I say make Elizabeth Warren your vice president. Announce it's going to be for 1 term. Make it clear to the world that the Democratic Party of the future is in the hands of, drum roll please, the squad. Yep. On Wednesday, January 20th, 169 days from today, we got a new president. President Joe Biden, Vice President Elizabeth Warren, get to work. You got a lot of work to do. Get it done. But on that same day, make it clear to the world that the new Democratic Party, starting in 2024, belongs to the squad. And let them be the kingmakers. Just put it right out there, who you are. Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Your opponents, the Republicans, are already painting you as the party of the squad. They're already putting these 4 women out in front as the faces of the Democratic Party. That's how you're being portrayed. Go ahead. Go ahead, embrace it. Say, yep, that's right. That's exactly who we are. The Democratic Party, as of today, is a progressive party. This is kind of in the mold of the wall of moms in Portland, followed by the wall of dads and their leaf blowers. Joe, Liz, you are the wall of moms and dads. You're there to say, nope, no more. Joe and Liz, 2020, get it done. I'm telling you, Democrats, this is how you do it. It's not only the right thing to do, it's the politically advantageous thing to do. Announce that it's 1 term. The 2 of you are going to get things done. You're going to clean up after the disaster. You're going to get FEMA in there and OSHA in there, and you're going to get people off the roof. You're going to dig us all out of the rubble. You're going to get us back into the Paris Climate Accord. You're going to get us back into NATO. You're going to reinstate the Iran deal. You're going to clean out the Justice Department. You're going to negate and annul everything that the Orange Menace did. And we'll love you forever for it. But key to this is the acknowledgement that this is a 4-year project, it's a 1-term project, and you are placing the future of the Democratic Party into the hands of the squad. I'm telling you, I am telling you, that's how you do it. All right, well, it's been lovely talking to you. Just always my pleasure. And we'll do it again tomorrow. This is The Log. I'm Charles Purcell. I love you.